In February 1959, 9 experienced hikers vanished in the frozen wilderness of the Ural Mountains. When search teams finally found them, the scene was more chilling than the minus 30 degrees Celsius air. A tent ripped open from the inside. Barefoot footprints in deep snow. Bodies scattered in the forest. Some missing eyes, one without a tongue. 60 years later, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the most disturbing unsolved mysteries in modern history. And the deeper you look, the stranger it becomes. The story begins in Sverdlovsk, Soviet Russia, January 23, 1959. 10 hikers, students and graduates from the Ural Polytechnic Institute, set out for an ambitious expedition to reach Otterton Mountain, deep in the northern Urals. They were led by Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old engineering student and an accomplished outdoorsman. Their route was classified as Category 3, the most difficult, a challenge reserved for the most experienced. The team, Zenaida Kolmogorova, passionate skier with multiple expeditions behind her. Rustem Slobodin, a competitive athlete known for his endurance. Lyudmila Dubinina, outspoken, determined, skilled with a camera. Alexander Kolovatov, a physics student with mountaineering experience. Yuri Krivonyshenko, cheerful, loved singing around the campfire. Nikolai Thibault-Brignoles, civil engineering student. Semyon Zolotaryov, the oldest, a decorated war veteran. Yuri Doroshenko, tall, physically strong, known for his bravery. Yuri Yudin, the only member who would survive due to illness. On January 28th, Yudin turned back due to severe back pain from a congenital condition. He later said, "I'm very lucky I got sick when I did. Had I continued, I would be lying there with them." The remaining 9 trekked through frozen valleys and over mountain passes, recording their journey with photographs and diary entries. On January 31st, they reached the edge of the highlands. The weather turned. Snowstorms, freezing winds, visibility dropping to almost nothing. Their final diary entries showed good spirits despite the worsening conditions. By February 1st, heavy snow and near-zero visibility forced them off course. Instead of reaching the safety of a forested valley, they set up camp on the exposed slope of Kholat Syakhl, Mountain of the Dead, in the local Mansi language. The Mansi people considered the mountain cursed, avoiding it during certain times of year. Legends spoke of past tragedies in its shadow. To this day, experts debate why Dyatlov chose that exposed spot. Some suggest he wanted to practice camping on a slope. Others think poor visibility hid the forest from view. When the group failed to return on schedule, family members grew worried. On February 20th, the first search teams were sent. Volunteers, fellow students, teachers. They were soon joined by military units with helicopters, planes, and dogs. On February 26th, the first discovery was made: the tent. It was half buried in snow. The side facing downhill had been cut from the inside. Boots, coats, food, cameras, all untouched inside. It was as if they had fled suddenly into the storm, underdressed and unprepared. 9 sets of footprints, some barefoot, others in socks, led away from the tent toward the tree line, 1.5 kilometers downhill. At the forest edge, under a tall cedar tree, 2 bodies were found, both in underwear, without shoes, hands badly burned, possibly from trying to light a fire. Nearby, branches up to 5 meters high were broken, suggesting one had climbed the tree, perhaps to look for the tent or escape something. 3 more bodies were found between the cedar and the tent, as if trying to return. All showed signs of hypothermia. It took 2 more months to find the remaining 4, buried under meters of snow in a nearby ravine. Their injuries shocked investigators. Massive internal trauma, fractured skulls, broken ribs, yet with almost no external wounds. One woman was missing her tongue, 2 others had no eyes. Autopsies revealed a series of unsettling facts. Some bodies had radiation on their clothing. One hiker's watch had stopped at 5:31 a.m., another at 8:45 a.m. Several were found wearing clothing belonging to others, suggesting they took garments from those who had already died. Temperature estimates at the time ranged from -25 degrees Celsius to -30 degrees Celsius, with strong winds. The cause of death for 5 was listed as hypothermia, for 4 as fatal injuries. And then, the strangest detail. Official reports were classified for decades. Access was restricted, fueling suspicion that the truth was being hidden. Avalanche theory suggests a small slab avalanche struck the tent hours after setup. It could explain the sudden escape and some injuries. Critics argue the slope angle was too shallow and no avalanche debris was found. Katabatic winds, sudden hurricane-force winds that can appear without warning, known to cause disorientation and panic. Infrasound, low-frequency sound waves created by wind passing over the mountains may induce intense fear and confusion. Military testing. Soviet parachute mines could have caused shockwave injuries matching the autopsy reports. Radiation could be linked to military equipment. Animal attack. Some propose a bear or wolverine, but this fails to explain the internal injuries and missing eye's tongue without external bite marks. Supernatural or extraterrestrial. Locals reported strange orange lights in the sky around the time of the incident. While unproven, these claims continue to attract theorists. In 2019, Russian prosecutors reopened the case. They concluded a delayed slab avalanche was the cause, supported by computer models and case studies from similar mountain accidents. But many experts and surviving relatives remain unconvinced, arguing that this explanation ignores too many anomalies: the cut tent, the radiation, the selective injuries. Today, Dyatlov Pass is a pilgrimage site for hikers, historians, and conspiracy hunters. Monuments and memorial plaques mark the area. Books, documentaries, films, and podcasts have kept the story alive, each offering a different theory. Survivor Yuri Yudin dedicated much of his life to finding the truth. He passed away in 2013, never receiving the closure he hoped for. The mystery has transcended Russia. It's now part of global folklore, a chilling reminder of how nature and the unknown can intertwine. The Dyatlov Pass incident is more than a cold case. It's a story of human ambition, nature's raw power, and unanswered questions. What do you believe happened on that frozen slope in 1959? Leave your theory in the comments, and join me next time for another journey into survival, mystery, and the edge of human experience.